How to take our nation back, how to get our family back, how to bring God back. And we start right here and get it to multiply and keep spreading and spreading. During this shutdown, during this whole last 4 years, people have stopped talking to each other. We've been dividing each other. We all want to look at the outside instead of the inside. We always want to try to figure out what religion you are when it does not matter. At the end of time, we are guaranteed to be with like-minded individuals forever and ever. Amen. Now, hell, you can have DEI. You can be whatever the color of the rainbow you want. You can hate me because I'm up here just shouting, Jesus, we need your help. Or you can get on board. Either or, you're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop God's train. You're not going to stop the American train. And you're definitely not going to stop the Trump train. So within the next couple of hours, we're going to have ebb and flow. If God prick your spirit, if he say, I have a word, if he say, I want a witness, if I got a testimony, if I got a favor, then I'm going to need for y'all to get up here because it will be open mic. This is for everybody. This is for us to get together. This is Unite for America's rally. So I just want to thank y'all for taking y'all time out. And I just want to say to my husband, because he did all, me and him, I just want to say thank you. When he see a vision, he actually gets his boots on the ground. He done changed shirts 4 times. So you know what, that's Dave. So Aaron, if you want to go ahead and get the rally going, let's go.
Thank y'all for coming. I just wanted to unite everyone, get everyone together, have some fun. America first, yes. Jesus first. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Pastor Tony Priscillius. He's with Rushing Wind Church and also Bikers for Christ. Amen.
Whether a lot of people want to recognize it or not, I mean, we're supposed to be one nation under God, you know. And it's from that capacity that I want to speak to you, and we'll let the other guys who have a lot more knowledge when it concerns politics than myself discuss those other things. So when I think about the America that I grew up in, you know, I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm patriotic, as many of you are here today. I'm grateful for those who dedicated their life and efforts, whether it be military or in service, you know, government, whatever the case may be, that we were able to have the America that we have today. But the America that I grew up in is very different than what we have today. I think many of us can agree on that. You know, old America, we didn't have seat belts. We rode in the back of pickup trucks. We didn't have helmets, and we rode our bicycles, and we didn't have knee pads, and we made it out okay. You know, we had an America that had some different morals and principles. You know, I mean, we were taught to respect our elders, and it didn't matter who it was. You better say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. You better, you know, have manners if you go to a friend's house to eat dinner. I mean, things were just different than what we see today. You know, our grandfathers and fathers handed us America that just looked really different. And when I think about where we're at today, there's a lot of crazy things that's out there and going on around us, and I'm like, how did we come to this? How did it get like this? You know, I'm reminded of a scripture in Isaiah that says, wow, now I'm drawing a blank. After watching that debate, though, I told myself I wasn't going to worry about this. You know, if I forget what I'm talking about, it's probably okay. It says, Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." You know, there's a small percentage of people out there that they're real good about making a lot of noise and screaming from the rooftops to get these crazy ideas and practices in place, but that doesn't make it right. When I was growing up, one thing my parents taught me was that, you know, we need to be accountable for our actions. I made a lot of poor choices. A lot of bad decisions. Maybe some of you guys guilty of the same thing. But one thing I never did was fool myself about what was right and what was wrong. I knew the things that I was doing was wrong, and I knew that there may be consequences that I have to pay on account of that, and I did. But I didn't get it twisted and try to call what was wrong right. And today there's so many things happening in our country that our children are being taught, that are being imposed upon us, and at the end of the day they can get together and say and act like that it's okay all they want, but at the end of the day that doesn't make it right. It's almost as if truth has become negotiable. And for us that are Christian Americans, it's not negotiable. The truth we believe in and the truth that we support is God's Word. You know, we're urged as Christians that we should be prepared to defend our faith. That means we need to be a voice, that we need to take action. We can't do it sitting on our hands, acting like it's somebody else's responsibility or that's just not my gig. You know, I found myself guilty of having those feelings come over me when Aaron first spoke to me about coming here today. And that's why I'm here, to stand up against my own self and say, hey, we can't continue doing what we've not been doing. It's obviously not working, you know. How else are all these crazy things going on around us? We can't let those few, just because they scream really loud, start driving the train here. You know, I mean, it's obvious that there's not many people that I know personally that don't feel like we've lost our way. I love my country and I'm proud of my heritage, but I'm pretty disappointed in a lot of things, and I think there's a lot of us out there that feel just that way. You know, you don't have to be the sharpest pencil in the box or have some great knowledge of politics to understand something's going wrong, guys. I mean, we get to vote, but I'm not so sure that the counting of that's not getting cooked up some kind of way. I mean, but we're taught in the Bible that we should be prepared to defend our faith. We're also taught in the Bible that we should be in prayer for our leaders. You know, Paul urges Timothy in one of his letters that we should be praying for all people. And also he goes on to say, kings and those in high positions. And the responsibility of that, guys, falls on us as Christian Americans. If we're here today and we consider ourselves to be a Christian American, that's not somebody else's work to do. It's not just reserved for pastors and leaders. It's all of us that call ourselves Christian Americans. And that also includes those people that are in high positions that maybe we don't agree with. We still should be praying for all people, especially our leaders. We need to be seeking the one who has the ability, who is sovereign over all to begin with. Their terms in office are only just for a time. God's sovereignty is not changing. He has the ability to change the hearts and minds of men, you know. But we have a responsibility as Christians to be prepared to defend our faith and to be in prayer.
Let's welcome her. Hey guys, how are you? It's so good to see you. My name's Kim Anderson, and I am the married mom of 4 now adult children. My husband Ken and I have been married almost 30 years, and I don't know about you guys, but after COVID, I kind of had an awakening. And if you're anything like me, that awakening had a lot to do with health and how what we thought our whole life was designed to actually help us, in essence, began to harm us. And we couldn't, once we saw it, you know, once we saw the whole totality of it, then we had to ask ourselves, okay, first, how long has this lie been going on? As far as the things that we put in our bodies that we were told were there to help us, now we sort of understand that they're not actually trying to help us at all, but they're actually being given to us to do harm. I'm just trying to speak. I don't know why I'm trying to speak politically correct when you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Say it, girl.
I was like, this might be online. I don't know. I don't want Lucretia's page to get taken down because we said all the wrong buzzwords. But if anybody, if I can speak freely, it would be with this crowd, right? But back in 2021 and 2022, I just started having this awakening that, you know what? Especially because a lot of churches shut down, I was so disappointed. Because I was like, wait, is Jesus not the healer? Is he not the one that can provide everything for us? Why are we not acting in faith? And then when I started seeing people saying, oh, well, you know, did y'all hear this one? If Jesus would take the jab. Did y'all hear that one? From people that were supposedly like higher up Christians. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? And so I was like, there has to be a better way. God has made things and prepared things on the earth to heal us. Not just to keep us from being sick and keep it going because they're giving us these pharmaceuticals. So anyway, I kind of got on a mission. And you're going to see in the next few days and weeks, my husband Ken and I are be partnering with Dave and Lucretia about some all-natural plant-based nutrition and nutritionals that can help turn things around in a natural way, whether it's the sugar or high blood pressure or gut issues, because you know what, most of us have gut issues because the food that we're eating isn't necessarily coming from healthy ground like it used to, and we're eating processed foods, and on and on and on we go, that the things that we thought were there to support us actually are there to harm us unless we take, just like the pastor was saying, unless we take responsibility for our health, what we eat, and know that we are doing all we can. I think we have to like partner with God and say, yo, okay, Father, I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm not, if I'm on some sort of drugs now, can I just get off? Is there a way? Show me a way. And that's the type of thing we wanna help you guys with, because there is a solution.
Move in the same direction to look out for we the people. We need to hold our elected officials accountable. And just going, I think the gentleman earlier said just going out and voting every 4 years ain't getting it done. You're exactly right. We're going to have to do something. We need to do one of the things that Tactical Civics is really good about, and they've got 2 or 3 counties in California already that have local grand juries, citizens grand juries. They have a web page, they have volunteers, they assemble the grand jury. They have a local militia that reports to and through the grand jury. I believe they're deputized in the local sheriff, and they aid the sheriff's department for the most part, unless they're going to arrest somebody that the sheriff's department doesn't want to arrest. So they're not going to go arrest a captain or maybe the deputy district attorney or something, or a prosecutor. So we'd have to depend on our own militia in order to hold the government accountable. But the sheriff's department can work with the current situation. We need to bring our courts back to law of the land and common law, which is constitutional, and get away from this British Admiralty bullshit that's been going on since the beginning of time. I don't think we've ever actually gotten out from underneath the crown, and now is an opportunity to do that. Everything is so tumultuous in the world. Maybe this is our chance, but we can do it locally and take control of our local governments and hold them accountable. And guess who the sheriff is? The constitutional sheriff in this county is the highest constitutional law enforcement officer in the county. So these 3-letter agencies that belong to the federal government, they don't have any jurisdiction in this county. They can't do anything without the approval of the sheriff, and the sheriff is the enforcement in this county of the Constitution. That is his responsibility. I don't know if Keith Brooks is aware of that in Walker County. I was hoping he'd be here so I could kind of ask him about it. And I promised I wasn't going to surprise him with it. I was going to share the information with him first. But these are the types of things, guys, that I think that I strongly believe that we need to devote our time and effort to. Tactical Civics, as a group, it's a nationwide group. We've got chapters established in about half of the counties across the United States already. It's somewhere around half. We're trying to get at least a chapter in every county, and we've got online. It costs $50 a year to join, and then we've got access to the online library that is huge. You talk about educational value. We've got all kinds of books. The Great Reset is an awesome textbook, and it's literally written like a textbook. And there is a high school edition that actually has curriculum in it for you to review with your children if you choose to run them through the course. But basically, it explains the Constitution and what we as a people are responsible for. We have to hold our government accountable. That's constitutional as well. We, the people, are the power. We have to hold them accountable. We have to stand. We have to make them do what they need to do. They need to look out for us, not the other way around.
Everybody, I know I don't have many audience here, but I have about 400,000 people watching it.
That's right.
My name is Eugene Yu. I'm running for U.S. Congress 4th District right here in Georgia. Guess what? Because I'm running U.S. Congress, because it is all about you. You. And also I do believe Washington needs a U-turn. Washington definitely needs a U-turn. We need to go back where it used to be. I think that Washington is full of a BS. And we do need the people like you and me get involved in politics, teaching this career politician how to run the government. Let me introduce myself. My life here in Georgia for 54 years. I used to be a firefighter. I served greatest army in the world, U.S. Army.
Right.
And also, honorably discharged, I become law enforcement deputy sheriff in Richmond County, Augusta, Georgia. Then I started my own business. Guess what? I think I did them all. I did them all. Most politicians, they never work their hands entire their life and tell us how to learn living our life. They just don't understand. Again, I want to tell you one promise. When I walk into Washington with my wallet, same amount of money or maybe less when I leave the Washington. Not like any other politician. Once they go in, they come out multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar. Just like Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden. They've been working on the Washington, D.C. for the last 40-some years. They never understand people like you and I how living day by day. Absolutely. We must get rid of all this career politician. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be run on and on and on. I just go up there, do my job, and I voluntarily leave.
Amen.
This coming November 5th, remember you. My name is very easy to remember. You. Both for you. For you. You for you. Thank you. And God bless Georgia, and may God continuously bless United States of America. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Youth. Next up, we have Hunter Mosley with the Walton County Young Republicans.
It's a little quiet in here. Can y'all give me a hand?
Woo!
Yeah. Let's get some high energy going, right? So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Hunter Mosley. I'm the chairman of the Walton County Young Republicans. I want to thank you all for having me here today. I want to thank Aaron for putting this event on, and I want to thank Lucretia for hosting it. Could you give them a loud round of applause really quick? We're at a turning point in this country, folks. One where we will decide what the future will look like. Not the career bureaucrats and politicians in Washington, D.C. that continue to have their way with us and our money. It's time now to stand up for God, family, and country. Thank you. It's a crucial time where it is corruption versus we, the people. And we must put these principles into action as we support President Trump in his campaign and as we work to elect Republican leaders across this state and across this country that reflect our values as Americans. And during this time, we don't need followers. We don't need passing support. We need leaders, doers, and soldiers. But once we've taken the White House and Congress in the midterms, after that, the momentum cannot stop. It's been our problem. It stops. It does. We fizzle out. We get high energy and then we let it stop. But this time we cannot let it stop. We have to start looking towards the future. So we must begin the legwork to pass the torch to the next generation. Because what we do now will set the foundation for the future. And to do that, we must look to the future. Did you know that millennials are now the largest generation in the United States? It's true. Past the baby boomers. Sometime a couple years ago, actually. Only 50% of millennials are registered to vote. 50% of the largest generation in the United States of America are registered to vote. And as of right now, the voting history of that group leans to the left. It's a problem. See, most of my generation has been deceived with lie after lie after lie and false promise after false promise from the left. How? Well, they tell a very good story. Feels good. Feels good to listen to. You know, it hurts to hear that, but it's true. You know, it's one that portrays them as the hero to the victims of American society. Unfortunately, it's the other way around, isn't it? They create the victims so they can swoop in and be the hero. We must start showing people that the Republican Party offers a better path, one that allows them more freedom over their future, and one where every American stands on their own 2 feet.
There's a passage in Ephesians, and it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power and of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." So a lot of times people don't like to stand up against the wiles of the devil because they don't feel, number one, like they have the power or the tools, or maybe they don't know exactly what to do. And sometimes people feel guilty about making judgments on others. So I found this passage in Proverbs. And Proverbs, it says, "It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. So if you are just and you do not stand for justice, there is joy to be found in just. And as you are just, the reason why it's joy, because you can point out the wickedness. You can point out the iniquity. And going back to the armor of God, that's where your power lies. You ever notice when you're talking to somebody, if you speak truth, sometimes they get offended. You didn't make that up. You just spoke the truth. And the sword that you have comes out of your mouth. And if you don't use it, you're wasting God's tool. And it's okay to judge if you're just, because that's where justice comes from, is from the just. So when you wear the helmet of righteousness, which means you understand that the truth is the Lord, and you're there to use the sword, and you're protected by that truth. And I just want to encourage everybody to stand up and to use that mouth, because there's only one reason they're fighting so hard against you. It's because you're telling the truth. And together we're more than they are. So one night, I'm also a musician. One night I had this urge to write a song. It just came to me. And it's called "We're Gonna Make America Great Again." And that means us. It's not just Trump, it's we. So I try to do my part with the skills that the Lord has given me, and I hope that everybody uses the skills that they have to speak up and say something. And if you want to join and listen to my song, it's on TikTok, Mattman Music, Mattman_music. It's called "We're Gonna Make America Great Again." I encourage everybody to use that armor of God. Know that you're speaking the truth, and speak it tall, stand tall, and know in the end, the greater the sacrifice, the greater the reward. If you give nothing, you'll get nothing. So if you come back with me too, you're not going to be seen as lightly as those that have stood up and said something and spoke the truth and carried it in their heart.
Yes, that is where we are in America, completely inverted, the upside down. People have turned their back on God, family, and country. People have sat back on their hands and knees and let this country be taken over by a demonic plague. The dream is close to over and has been hijacked very carefully and meticulously by design, and those who are shrouded in darkness. Well, they were. The evil is now so prevalent, it needs not hide in the darkness, and it's taken over so much ground that people are drawn to it like a magnet. But not you, my dear friends. Somewhere along the way, something changed in you. You saw something that didn't make sense. A light bulb went off in your head, and all of a sudden, you could see through everything around you so clearly. It was actually frightening. When it happened to me, I was sick in my stomach for a week. It really was like Neo from the Matrix, that we could see the code. And once you see it, there is absolutely no turning back. You can't unsee it. You can't take off the lens. The person who coined the phrase that ignorance is bliss was indeed a genius. So now you and I are here, a small percentage of the population who understands just how far down the rabbit hole we all are. You understand how much of the truth has been hidden, how controlled everything around us is, and how enslaved we've always been, and how little we mean to the controllers. They use every means necessary to maintain their power and their control over us, and though they've tried several authoritarian systems, sex, drugs, bread, and circus, to make us hate each other, divide us by race, class, gender, religion, well, they underestimated us. They underestimated those of us who were able to see past the narratives, question the motives, put our faith in a higher power, and understand that our past is the greatest guide to a better future. You are a critical thinker, an outcast, if you will. You see the evil prevailing and understand that every regime in history has always wanted two things: power and control. And we know at the end of every color revolution, they seek to depopulate the masses. That is the end game plain and simple. But they have underestimated two things. One thing is you here at this event. You who can see the code and decided you would not live your life quietly, enslaved to the system. You would not fear the hate, the stereotypes, and the narratives. You would not bend the knee to authoritarianism or go along just to get along. You will not sit idle by and let history repeat itself. You are the leaders and activists who are on the front lines against this evil plague, and their desperation shows how much they fear you. The more they attack, the more chiseled we become. The further they push you, the closer to God you get. And in the end, nothing they could ever do could harm us, not even death. The second thing this evil underestimated was the Almighty. You see these white pages, these Georgia Guidestones, these World Economic Forums and New World Orders. They think they have the plan. They think they are in control. And I've got some news for them. This isn't Klaus Schwab's plan. This isn't Joe Biden or Trump's plan. This isn't Q's plan. This isn't my plan or your plan or Israel's plan, even China's plan. It is God's plan. And it always has been God's plan. And they know this. They would never admit it, but deep down in the depths of their hellish souls, they know no matter what, they will never succeed because God is in control. And we cannot understand the plan. And we may suffer through it. We may not make it out to the other side. But without God's plan, you and I would not be out in this field, at this rally in fellowship, behind the shield of God, studying the matrix code all around us, and taking a stand. Fighting for all things good, great, and just, and being examples for others to see, and stand up with you to look the evil in its face and laugh. Because no matter what they throw at us, no matter how much they lie, cheat, steal, or even try to kill us, we know that this is God's plan, not theirs, and we're not afraid. Don't ever stop fighting, believing, or seeking the armor of God. Don't ever stop seeking the truth and the light. In the end, we know God always wins, and you are the front line of this war, leading the way to a righteous victory. And I'm honored to be standing with you. Thank you.
My name is Lucretia Hughes Kluge. Normally, I like traveling around the United States and giving out speeches of why I stand up for my rights and what makes me stand up for my rights. What makes me stand up for my rights was my grandchildren running in this yard. What makes me stand up for my rights is the unfathomable promise that we was given, which is life, health, and pursuit of happiness. Why in the last 10 years we have been seeing that being degraded, we have seen that being torn apart, we have seen that the foundation of family no longer means the father is on top, the mother is second, and then the children last, with God being the umbrella and the comforter of it all. We can't even say God, we can't even say Jesus, we can't even say, I'm gonna say it, Trump. Why not? Because the man was made for a year like this. Why? Who in the world is going to take their cushy lives of being a billionaire, never stepping foot in politics a day in his life, but all of a sudden ride the wave and become president and make this nation great again? It is not a smear to say MAGA. That is making this make America godly again. It's MAGA. If it makes America great again, that means it's MAGA. Whatever it is, I'm more MAGA than that. Because in a little while, by and by, we will not even be here because we will be with our own kind. We will be like Jesus has promised us. We will be eternity with our own echo chamber, because you know what? Hell is free, but our nation is not. We are a nation of laws. We're a nation with borders. We are a nation with a foundation that was written after the 10 Commandments, because the Puritans got tired of King George smacking them down anytime that they wanted to go to church. Well, let's go to church, and it's only Saturday. So when I'm talking about my God, I only have one. There is not many names but the name. So I can only stand up and represent who believes in me and who I believe in. When it comes to my family, that is all I have. Red, yellow, black, and white, we all are precious in his sight. We are all the little children of the world. So that means if you're looking at me with a stank face, you ain't gonna stop me. That means that I'm not your shade. I'm sorry, I'm pretty little bit darker today because I stood up and did something that other people will bitch and complain on the sideline and won't get on the front line to make their voices be heard. Now, when it comes to my country, I only have one. That one has 50 states. That 50th state of mine is Georgia, and I live in Walton County of the Loganville. And I'm going to protect it from wall to wall, sea to sea, from border to border, because I'm an American citizen. And if I don't stand up for that, if I don't stand up for my military, if I don't stand up for my nation, if I don't stand up for my fellow men, then we're not Americans. So if that means I'm supposed to drop my head because I love a white person, or I love a Hispanic person, or I love another black person, and I can't stick with my kind, I just can't stick with you.
Amen.
If I'm not welcome at your table, I got a carpenter that will make mine.
Amen.
If my name can be whispered in your halls, then there's a builder that's gonna build me a mansion in the sky. Y'all come over, get you some chitlins, make sure it has hot sauce, some rice, and coleslaw. That is what you're gonna get in my mansion. Because he says anything that I can think of, he even made it better. But if I can think of all the evil and destruction that is going around this nation right now, I would rather have it better. I would rather not keep my mouth closed and be ashamed of him because he's gonna be ashamed of me. I'm not caring what men gotta say anymore. Too many doors have been closed, but somehow he is the one that's taking them off the hinge, and I'm going to continue walking forward. When the people say we can't do it, when the people say you never will accomplish, when the people say you will not make it in life, you are a liar and the truth ain't in you, and you serve nothing but Satan, his minions, and his followers. Get thee behind me. Just like the ones that said Aaron would not be able to do this today, then I told you pick your head up, you pick your feet up, tell us what you need for us to do, and we got your back. Just like Donald J. Trump. You don't like me because I rep Donald J. Trump. I don't like you because you rep Satan. You don't like me because I like a man that is straight and he like women, and even if they like to grab him, he did it for free. He ain't got to go out there and buy it. At least he ain't out there in San Francisco butt naked in front of children with your pathetic selves. I am so tired of Satan ripping and running to and fro, but he only got a short time left. Right now, there are revivals all around this nation. Join a revival. Join our team. Join our family. But I'm telling you, you're going to grow more than you ever thought. You're going to meet people that you never thought you're going to meet before. And you'll get opportunities when other people wouldn't give you the opportunities. We just want you to be family. But if you're not, you will get kicked to the wayside. You will get ran over by the train, and you will be pushed under the bus, because we're not going to allow you to come in here and destroy it. That is why so many people around this nation are standing up right now, because no one wants to be broke nor broken. And in the last 3.5 years, I've seen inflation go through the roof. But I also seen that Biden has allowed 21 million illegals, where you're struggling, where you're seeing homeless, where you're seeing veterans setting each other on fire. They're getting free food stamps, free housing, free medical, and you're begging at the altar of the almighty government. We are the government. We are the people. We are their bosses. And when we as grasshoppers finally, or even the ants, realize there's more of us than there will ever be of them, and get back to our rightful place. God gave you a soul. He gave you the voice. He gave you the freedom. Why are you relinquishing it to someone else? Why are you dropping your knee? Because you're going to get your riches here, then it's going to tarnish. I would rather have the riches that will never dull. And if you don't know John 3:16, and if you don't know that he died on the cross for your sin and it make you feel a certain type of way, you're not supposed to be watching me. I'm not your clique. You're not supposed to be nowhere near me. I'm not your woman. You're not supposed to be anywhere on my page. I'm not your friend. I am trying to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. Leave this property in an irrevocable trust. Make sure another elderly person don't get ripped off to the highest land grabbers, and making sure that my family and my children have a better step up in life than what I had when I entered it and gonna leave it. All of us gonna die. What is your imprint gonna be? What is your legacy gonna be? You ain't gonna wipe me out of Congress. You ain't gonna write me out of the history book because you don't like what I gotta say. I have submitted myself, and I'm waiting for the next door to open. And when God says here, no man will close it. No political affiliation will ever close it. It will be me and me alone, and that's not gonna happen. God has given me a bigger platform and a message. It's time for us to go to see the shining sea. If you want us there, if you want to hold a rally, don't ever say you can't do it. As long as there's 2 or more or 3 or more to get together in his name, everything can change. So I'm telling you right now, it won't be no water main break on election night. Get to the polls. Take your mama them. They pay a bill, then ask them how they feeling not having the money in their bank accounts anymore. Ask them how they're feeling when they go to the grocery store now. Ask them how they feeling when they want to turn on the lights. Ask them how they feeling when they want to just have a food on their table. Ask them how they feeling when they say no to the jibbity jab because the federal government wants you to take a poison that God did not tell you to take to begin with. Say no back. Christian, you on a list. As long as it says, well done, my good and faithful servant, you got a mention on Crenshaw on the left side of town, and it's Jesus Christ, I could care less what man got to say. So everybody wanted me to do a speech. I just want to tell you I'm so happy right now. I am so thankful right now. And I am so honored right now for Roy coming down here, for everybody showing up, for Antonio, for the Trump bus. When there's 2 to 3 more get together in his name, a lot can change. And as long as we do what God tells us to do, and that is to get out there and witness, he'll make everything else straight. So if you feel like you want to donate to myself and my husband to help us save our house, so we can help others, elderly, other business owners, other property owners, not fall into the same scam that we did from the big corporations and the money grabbers. Please make sure you go over there and you find us and you help us. And again, for anybody that don't know, this coming September, I will be speaking on stage with Donald J. Trump, the very next president of the United States of America. I'm still trying to figure out how many people said that was never going to happen. I said it myself. I doubted myself because I started listening to the enemy and started, instead of listening to the people that I need to be listening to. I almost let go of my life because I let Satan indwell upon me. And it took a long time to crawl out that hole. I'm not finna allow another person to drag me backwards. So this right here, y'all, is the ending of the Unite for America rally 2024 on one of the hottest days of the year. And I am hot and sweaty and about to change my shirt for a 6th time. So I want to thank everybody. Aaron, you did it.
The crowd till I go the distance, and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part. Every hero's strength is measured by his heart. November 24th, we're going to go the distance and re-elect Donald J. Trump for the third time. Let's go! Like a shooting star, I will go the distance. I will search the world. I will face his heart. I don't care how far. I can go the distance till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your I will search the world. I will face its hearts till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms. Let's go to distance.
One more time. Can you do that one more time?
All right. That ain't mine, is it? Okay. Come over here and sit by me. Tell me everything I want to hear. And I'll pretend that I don't see the reason you're back over here. You look cold, I'll build a fire. There's a box full of wine in the fridge. We won't talk about what's his name. That's just water under the bridge. Will you made up your mind? He ain't here with us tonight, so kiss me one more time. Cross every T, dot every I, with that pretty little lie. Pretty little lie. I thought we had it all figured out. It was me and there was you and him. I was hoping for a chance to cuss you out, but then you came walking in. And it hit me like I ain't been here before. I guess one of us will never change. It's you and me sitting on the floor. I let you get away with anything. Will you made up your mind? He ain't here with us tonight, so kiss me one more time. Cross every T, dot every I. Oh, that pretty little lie, pretty little lie, your pretty little lie. came so quickly for Loganville. Where have you gone? Old neighborhood just ain't the same. Nobody knows just what became of Ophelia. What went wrong? Was it something that somebody said? Mama, you know we broke the rule. Was somebody up against the law? Mama, you know I died for you. Was it something that somebody said? Mama, you know we broke the rule. Was somebody up against the law? Mama, you know I died for you. They got your number, steady running. I'm still waiting for the second coming of Ophelia. Where have you gone?
Team from Rawhide.
Can't get no relief. Gonna be a rumble on that promenade, and the gambling commissioner's hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Everything dies, and that's a fact. Or maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty. Meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
Thank you, thank you. So did y'all put on lipstick or is it that thing?